All right, guys, so we're recording. So thanks for taking the time. This is Don and Tam, and we are all getting ready for January 4th. I know some of us have had the program for almost a month now, just kind of waiting patiently to jump all in once we get through the holidays. And so Tammy and I felt that it would be a good idea to just have an informal powwow with everybody, maybe put some faces with names and do some informal introductions if we want, but also just to answer any questions you might have. You know, I know a lot of you have taken a look at the program. Some of you have started doing some of the workouts, looking at the nutrition plan, getting everything prepared. So we want to make sure that you're ready to go and you don't have any concerns or there's things that you're wondering. I know when we did the test group ourselves this year, in the beginning it was kind of like, wow, you know, it was almost a bit of a shock factor because you were doing things you weren't used to doing, and you were also forming new habits. And in the beginning, it's a big learning curve. But after a week or two, it just started to dial in and get very systemized. So our goal is to have you guys up and running systemized as quickly as possible so that you don't feel like a fish out of water and you're ready to go. Why don't I, before we go any further, why don't I just ask you, the group, what questions you might have or anything specifically that you'd like us to cover, and just type that in the chat box. Anything that you want us to hit upon that you might be wondering about. I'm also going to mute everybody's microphone so that there's no background noise. So if there's anything you do want to say, you can simply raise your hand or just type in the chat box that you'd like to speak, and I can unmute your mic. Let me mute everybody here. Hold on one second. Okay, so everybody's muted now. So go ahead and fire in terms of anything that you might have in terms of topics or the stuff that you want us to cover. If not, we'll just kind of go into some general dialogue and overview of what we're expecting from the group to really make this fun and engaging. And I know Tammy had a couple things she was going to also go over in terms of your photos and measurements. So is there anything at all that you can think of off the bat right away? Linda's got her hand raised. All right. Yay, our first volunteer. All right, Linda, hold on one second. Let me unmute you. Linda, go ahead. You're unmuted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess my biggest question is going to be about the nutrition plan. Like we have the containers, but I'm not quite sure how we're supposed to fill them. Like, do we have recipes, or do we just go with straight food without, mixing them into a recipe, or, that kind of thing? I mean,
okay.
And of course, I'm particularly, have the challenge of, I have the food list. So do we just pick and choose foods from the food list and fill those containers? That's my main, question at this point, is how to work the nutrition plan.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can do a bit of both. What we did a lot in Hammer and Chisel was actually just cook clean food. So we would measure out a portion of chicken, a portion of broccoli, a portion of sweet potatoes. So we kept it pretty clean. As it progressed through the 60 days, though, we got pretty bored of doing that. So there is a recipe book out there. I don't have it handy here, but it's a 21-day fix recipe book. And it actually shows recipes that you can make and how many of each container it equals. But we'll be providing recipes, and there are some in the Hammer and Chisel book. So,
yep, go ahead.
So just to give you an outline of my meal plan, what I did, I was on meal plan C. The program put me in B, but because I have a high metabolism, I went to C. So I had 5 portions of veggies, 5 portions of protein, 3 fruit, and I think 4 carbs. So in the morning I would get up and I get up at 4:45 before I went to work to do my workout. So I would grab a banana just to get something in my stomach. So that would be 2 portions of my fruit. Then I would come home, leave for work. I would have juice, 2 cups of vegetables, So it would be, at the time, before I found out I was allergic to spinach, it was spinach and broccoli, asparagus, all my greens, which is, it's a tough drink if you're not used to it. So if you're looking to do some vegetables juiced, maybe add some fruit, use some of your portions of fruit in that until you get used to just drinking greens. And I had lemon. Then I would go to work, I would have my protein, I would have 2 eggs, which is 1 portion of protein. I would have homemade turkey sausages, which is another portion of protein. I would have a snack of fruit, which would be my last portion of fruit. I'd have that in the morning. I ate a lot in the morning. Then at noon, I would have a clean meal, which would be a protein, a vegetable, and a carb. I would have an afternoon snack of a vegetable, and I would again have a protein, a carb, and a vegetable in the evening. So it's kind of an overview of what I did. Donnie's was similar. He just had
More. So, yeah, so I was on plan E. So I was eating 7 portions of vegetables a day. And so like when Tammy says a cup, something that she figured out, 1 cup is equal to 1 of the green or purple containers. So this is your veggie and your fruit. Your veggie and your fruit.
Okay.
This equates to 1 cup. And so Linda, getting back to your original question, you have in the program and nutrition guide, there are some really good recipes in here. So I don't know if you've had a chance to take a look at the book itself, but what you're going to find is for each one of the food containers, you've got a complete list. So here you have a complete list of veggies, your complete list of fruit. And so it's up to you to consume what you like. It's personal preference, but they do rank the foods from most nutritionally dense to least nutritionally dense. So Tammy and I would kind of try to focus on the top third of the list when we were making our food selections. You don't have to, but that's where your most nutrition is based. But you just choose whatever food you want from the lists, and make sure you're having the proper number of portions based on the plan that you're being put into.
So if you were like cooking up something, would you fill the cup with, say, spinach or asparagus, and then maybe toss in 2 eggs, and then you would know that, like, you made an omelet like that, then you would, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because, it gets tricky when you start making foods, because then you have to, I guess, fill up the cups and then put that into the recipe, or?
So from my morning scrambled eggs, like that, this was my religious breakfast every morning. I would have 6 eggs. So that's 3 portions of protein right off the bat in the morning. 6 eggs. I only had 3 yolks. So I know I was getting 3 portions of protein, but in the eggs, I would have 2 portions of vegetables. I would fill this with diced up tomatoes and red peppers, and then I would fill it again with baby spinach.
Okay.
That was thrown into the scrambled eggs, and so I knew I was getting 2 portions of veggies and 3 portions of protein with that scrambled veggies every morning.
Okay. So it's using the cups and filling them up and okay.
They're basically measuring containers rather than you eat out of these. They're just used for measuring, and you'll find that after you've used them for a week or 2, especially if you're using the same foods over and over, you can kind of stop using them, because you get to, by eyesight what a portion looks like. But if you're using new foods that you haven't used before, you definitely want to keep using the containers, because it looks a bit different depending on the food.
Now, we used to make turkey hash as well. So that's your carb and your protein. It was all mixed together. So what I used to do was I used to take one of the carbs, and I'd measure out a turkey hash portion of a carb, and then I would take the protein and I would measure out a portion of the protein. So for me, it was 1 portion carb, 1 portion protein. It's tough sometimes to get an exact measurement. I don't think it needs to be perfect, but another thing you could do is if you go online and you Google 21-day fix programs, or 21-day fix
fitness program,
nutrition ideas, and you look at the images, you're going to see tons of plans out there. Now, the 21-day fix is a little bit more lenient than this one. Like, it has wine, that you can substitute wine for a carb. It's not in this one. It's a little more strict. Obviously, your cheats, you're going to get out of the program what you put in. So,
Right.
But that's just some ideas to get an idea of what a meal plan would look like for different meal plans. There's vegans on there. There's vegetarians.
Yep.
I used to make chili a lot. I would kind of disregard the vegetable portion of it and just use it as a protein.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Like as you go through the program, on a given day, you have a question. That's the purpose of the Facebook group, guys. Like, use that as your go-to resource for questions and answers. You know, Tammy and I will be very active in that group, and we'll be making sure we're responding to people that have questions. But we also would love for you guys to chime in on a daily basis. You know, if you've got something that you want to share that you think is a creative idea or a great recipe or a little trick that you're using to make things more efficient for you, share it with the group. That's how we're all going to learn. And that's the experience she and I had in our test group. We were amazed by like the support and camaraderie that was happening amongst the people that went through that journey together. And it just inspired and motivated us to all get great results. Like, we just stuck to it for 60 days. And in the end, it was like, wow, look what we've achieved. That's what we want to see happen with you guys.
Yeah, when you post every day, other people see it. They post every day. After a while, it becomes a bit of a guilt if you're missing it. So it's some of your accountability by making sure that you check in with us every day. It could be exercising your willpower, showing an exercise move for the day of hammer and chisel. It could be a meal, anything.
Yeah, absolutely. So Webb, I see you got your hand up, bud. Let me. I think you might be unmuted. I think you're unmuted. You there, Webb? Hold on, buddy.
Let me just unmute all.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Hey, Webb, it's not showing that you're muted. Go ahead. No, hold on.
Just unmute all.
Okay, sounds like I am unmuted.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Hey, Don. So my question to y'all is I just recently, about maybe 2 weeks ago, got off a 21-day cleanse.
You can't tell.
And just kind of.
You can't tell Webb is from Texas, can you guys?
No, sir. Not. I'm from Southern New York. I'm from the Bronx. How you doing? So anyway, so I'm a NutriBullet freak. I love my NutriBullet, Don. I mean, I use that thing easily 3 to 4 times a day.
Yep.
And so my question to y'all is the program. I'm still trying to decipher the nutrition portion of this, but it's basically telling me that my plan is Plan F, as in Frank. And so it's basically telling me that I need to do veggies, and it's saying 8 portions. So it's literally saying that during the course of the day, I need to fill that green container up with 8 portions of vegetables. But I'm still going to be trying to split that out into anywhere between 4 to 5 meals during the course of the day, in one form or fashion.
Yeah, and you can also, like, to your point, use the NutriBullet and juice some of the veggies. Drink them.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I definitely plan on doing that because, I mean, yeah, I definitely plan on doing that. I mean, even the seeds and the nuts and the fruits and the proteins, you know, is definitely very, very helpful for the juice.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that that's what I'm doing is I'm just basically going through and using 8 containers of vegetables, and I'm going to be doing 7 containers of protein, whether it's going to be fish or any of that, or edamame or any of things of that nature. Is that correct?
That's correct, man. Okay. That's a big plan that you're in. I started in F when I started the group, and then I actually pulled it back to E, which I still thought was quite a bit of food. Now you're going into F. I'm assuming you're looking to put size on. You're looking to gain muscle.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you're going to be eating like a machine. You're going to feel.
Yeah, I mean, right? Yeah. I don't weigh that much, so I'm looking more of the gaining of the muscle mass.
Yeah. Good plan, man. Yeah. So You nailed it on the head. That's what you're going to do.
Okay, one other question while I have the gavel. This is the gavel. And that is, I still want to incorporate my yoga into this. So it's okay for us to follow the plan. I plan on doing this plan early in the morning, each morning, but in the evenings I can still incorporate my hot yoga 3 to 4 times a week in the evening. I mean, is that still, is there a recommendation not to do that, or
no?
The first few weeks, what do you recommend?
I would recommend that it be a form of yoga that's not too strenuous muscularity. Like, stretching is great, but if you're doing like some really aggressive yoga, it could be overtraining. But if you're just stretching and doing the deep breathing, that's going to be really beneficial. That's one of the things that I had for feedback of the program. This program is fantastic, but I do wish there was a bit more of a stretching component built into it. So if you tie in 2, 3, maybe 4 days of yoga, I don't think it's going to do you any wrong as long as it's not too aggressive.
Okay. Very good. Very good. All right. I'm going on mute, so you don't have to worry about me, but I'll just mute my phone. Thank you, Don, Tammy.
Thoroughly enjoyed it, bud. All right. I think there was another question that came in. Let's see. Darlene, the weight of the exercise band that's used. Oh, the weight of the exercise band. The red band. So, Darlene, are you saying that you have a red band?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I don't know the exact. I'm not sure what the weight of that band is. But sorry, let me get the mute going again. Hold on one second. Sorry, Darlene. So, insofar as the weight of the band, I'm not sure, but it shouldn't be much of a factor because you're not really using the band. Well, I shouldn't say that. You could be using the band for many exercises if you want.
You use it to warm up.
You're warming up. You're stretching with the band too.
The green one's the light one. I think the red one's.
It's the middle.
The medium, and the blue is the.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the red band is medium weight. The green bands are light. Red is medium, and blue is a heavier weight band. So you should be okay with that red one.
It's before I had my pull-up bar, I was using it to do the lat work, my red one, and it just seemed very light. It wasn't really working the muscles, so I was just curious what the weight of it was. But now I have a pull-up bar, and I can barely do them. But I'd rather work it that way.
Yep.
So I'm really working those muscles over using my my band.
You have an assist band?
Yeah, it's Body Elastics, and each of my bands has a weight on the band. So I think it was a 23-pound. That's my red one, but it just the chin-up bar is much better.
Yeah.
Are you using an assist band with the chin-up bar? Not a resistance band, an assist band.
I'm actually using. I looked at Body Elastics, and they have a way of using. And now that I have my chin up, it's a little different. I was talking about when I was using the band,
yes,
and I was pulling.
Understood.
Chin up bar. I've taken my my exercise bands, and I've made an assist out of it, and I attach it to my knees.
Good.
And but I think by the end of the 60 days, I'm really curious to see how much I've improved, because that's always been my weakest exercise. So I'm not getting all the way up with even the assist, and I think buying the proper one would be much better.
Yeah, because that's not a very that like 23 pounds is not much at all, which means you're pulling up pretty much all of your body weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, actually, for that, I've taken a few, and I put them together. I was just talking about before I had my chin-up bar. You know how they take it, and then you're going like this. You have it attached to a door, and you're pulling. I wasn't getting a workout out of my red one, so I was just curious what the weight was of that. And then we switched over to me saying that I'm using the bands as an assist with the chin-up, which I like much better, much harder.
Awesome. Yeah, so it's whatever works for you. And the assist band, I found was really useful as well. Like, there are a lot of pull-ups in this program. And if you're not used to doing pull-ups or you can't even do one pull-up, the assist band just makes life a lot easier. And you will progressively get stronger as you go to the point where all of a sudden you don't need the assist band as much anymore. So definitely something to consider if you don't have one.
I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, Tam's still working on it, but she's close.
But I started off, and I did a workout the other day, some pull-ups. I could only get like 10 in before it was kind of hurting with the assist band. But after 60 days, I was doing a full minute, no problem, over 20, but still with the assist band.
I want my husband to videotape before we actually start.
Oh, yeah.
It's not taking pictures, but to see yourself in action from when you can barely do an exercise to being able to fulfill it fully, that's going to be great.
It's very rewarding too when you see the journey documented. It's very inspiring to people when you do that. On that note, just the point that Tammy wanted to get into too a bit, the before pictures and measurements, we can't speak highly enough about, and it was something that we learned ourselves being in that test group. It's kind of like, really, am I going to do these selfie pictures and document this and do the right poses and just have everything the way I should? They actually give you a nice little outline in the quick start guide. Hey, Cole. So do it, guys. Like, just do your photos. Tuck them away, but do them, because as you progress and you look at that at day 30, day 45, day 60, it's kind of like, wow, look at how effective this program has been. What do you think, bud? Say hi. Say hi.
Hey, everybody.
Say hi. This is Cole. Say hi. Say hi.
Hi.
Wave.
You gonna go, Grandma?
Okay. Say hi to everybody.
Here you go.
Say good night. Say good night. Say good night.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Okay.
We might have to mute us.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we had another question.
Hold on.
Okay, so question that came in, guys. Please cover the process to log into the website to access the videos on your phones. Okay, so how that works. Comment from Webb. Thank God he got Tammy's good looks. Okay. So this is how it works. I'm actually going to do a screen share. I'm going to do a screen share, and I'm going to show you how you access Beachbody On Demand and view the workouts through your phone. So bear with me here as I share the screen. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to Beachbody on or teambeachbody.com. Okay, so this is the home page, and you'll log in with your customer information. You put in your email, your password, and you sign in. So I'll sign in here as Tammy. Okay, I'm in. Once you're in, right up here, left side of the menu bar, Beachbody On Demand. You click on that, and this brings you into the On Demand Center. So right here, these are the programs that Tammy has purchased from Beachbody in the past. So that's all uploaded as part of her library. Here's Master Hammer and Chisel. You click on Let's Get Started. And there you have all of the workouts from the program. So let's say on a given day I'm going to do total or max hammer strength. You just go ahead and hit play. You have to make sure that you scroll down to the bottom of the warning screen to accept the terms and conditions. You hit accept and you're in. So you can do this from your phone, your tablet, Apple TV. I mean, it really sinks into everything that you might have. I'm going to go back to the workouts. Another thing I want to show you while we're in here in terms of Beachbody On Demand and being in that club. Here's the purchase programs that Tammy's purchased, right? But then in addition to that, guys, you have this member library with over 400 workouts from Beachbody. So all of these programs that appear under member library, you have as part of that Beachbody club. You've got PIO, you've got P90, P90X, you've got the whole P90. I'm sorry, 1 second. You've got the whole series of P90X workouts, Insanity, Brazil Butt Lift, Turbo Fire. It goes on and on and on. You got all these programs for free to stream wherever you might be. So Beachbody On Demand is a really cool feature, and that's how you access it. Webb, does that answer the question? Okay, what else did you... Sorry, bud. Yeah, sorry.
Do it from the phone.
Sorry, man.
So I guess you just log in from the phone, same way.
Let me just make sure he's unmuted. Hey, Webb. You there, bud? I can't hear him. Wait a minute.
I don't know why his doesn't.
Yeah, yours doesn't. Try now, Webb.
Okay, so apparently they're done. I haven't set up my email password because I know when I went in to set up and to purchase account, I think I put in some other type of login and password.
It must have been an email address.
Yeah, we must have. So I just need to figure out.
Yeah, I can help you. If
I just need to figure out which password I use, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah, just do a password reset, and it'll send you, and you can reset it. If you have a problem, let me know. I'll help you.
Hammer and Chisel, do they have an app, or is the Beachbody have an app that we can access, or is we're just accessing it via the internet?
Correct.
And I assume from being prepared that knowing that you're going to do a workout the next morning, you might want to just kind of do a review of what you're going to, with your DVDs the night before.
I can't.
So you can kind of prepare yourself.
Tammy was big on that.
I can't stress that enough. I mean,
I made a mistake. It didn't. Yeah.
Workouts are effective. I mean, a lot of people have been doing the 12 days of fitness, so they're familiar with all the 12 workouts. But if you haven't done any yet, then absolutely review the workout, kind of figure out what weights you might be using for each move. I'm going to be sending out a tracker. I'm off work tomorrow, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'll be able to finalize that.
I didn't know.
Oh, really?
Hopefully,
sweep the driveway, will you?
hopefully I can finalize that and get it out. And it'll lay out, it's a tracker that you can use, print off and use. I did mine on my...
Okay, so this page right here, Ms. Tammy?
Yeah.
Now, are you recommending that we make multiple copies of this? I mean, at least
we can
8
share
copies of... What's that?
Yeah, we can share some print-offs with you.
That's his portion.
That's the portion. Yeah, that's the portion.
I've got a document. We've got a document that is basically your color-coded shopping list where you can track your food intake on a daily basis. I'll upload that to the Facebook page. You can print off as many copies as you want.
I just need something that I can basically have in my kitchen from an accountability standpoint.
Yep.
I actually use an app, and I cannot find it right now, but it's a 21-day fix app, and it tracks all of your measurements, so you don't have to have papers hanging around. So if you're out, you can continue to track it. It's simple, and I can post it when I find out what the name of it is. I'm sure it's probably just called 21-Day Fix, and you can put in everything.
Okay.
The video that I posted earlier too, with the information about Beachbody Club membership and how the 30-day free trial works and the continuation of your home direct order, I want to make sure everybody's clear on that. So everybody, if you didn't get a chance, take a look at that, because when you bought the challenge pack, it signed you up for home direct, meaning for Shakeology or the performance pack items, the Recover and the Energize. Now, because we haven't started until now, you may not have started consuming that stuff. But you're set up to be billed and shipped another delivery of Shakeology or the Performance Pack 30 days from when you made the original purchase. And if you don't want that to happen, there's that toll-free number. I put it right there on the post to just call customer service, tell them I want to change my shipping date or I want to cancel it entirely. So it's totally up to you, but just make sure that you're aware of that. And then the other thing was with the Beachbody Club, with the on-demand library and everything that I just showed you, that membership, it's a 30-day free trial that you had when you bought the challenge pack. Now, if that's not something you think you're going to use or you don't want it, cancel that, because after 30 days after you've signed up, you're going to get billed $38.87 per quarter. So every 3 months, they charge $38.87 for that Beachbody Club membership. If you don't want it, again, just call that customer service number, say, please cancel me out of that. I don't want to get billed for it. So just make sure you're aware of that. We don't want anybody getting billed unexpectedly or say, hey, I didn't know I was going to get charged for this. All right. If you have any questions, if you're not sure of something, shoot us a message. We'll make sure you're dialed in. All right. Anything else, guys? Good.
So yeah, I just wanted to talk about the measurements and
Cool.
So I don't know if some of you started to go on, but it's really important to take your pictures. Just tuck them away. I know we've already said that, but I can't stress it enough. I've told someone else to do it as well, and she sent me a message the other day saying, I didn't take my pictures because I was embarrassed the way that I looked. And she's waiting to get better before she takes her before picture. She's not really the purpose of it. So nobody has to see them, but I can guarantee you'll be very glad that you've got them. Take them for yourself, tuck them away. We don't need to see them. You never, ever have to show them to us.
Right.
And then you can look at your after picture. It's your only gauge. Scale is not your friend in this program.
Yes.
Especially for the women, it is your enemy, because you're going to get on the scale and you're going to lose some weight, and then it could plateau, or you could actually go up, which has happened to some people in our group. Some of the girls started freaking out, but they actually looked fantastic. So they were gaining muscle mass, which we all know is a little bit weighs heavier than fat. So stay off the scales. You can get on it. I would encourage you to get on it actually at the beginning and then at the end, so you can see how much my weight didn't change much, but my body completely shifted. So it's kind of a cool feature or a cool measurement to look at. That's
a great point Tammy's making, guys. The scale is not your friend in this program, because your body composition will change, and your gauge is how do you look in the mirror and how do your clothes fit. Those are your gauges, not the scale, because you will gain lean muscle mass. You're not going to get bulky if you don't want. It's a tone and firm while you melt body fat. In that instance, sometimes the scale doesn't change much. Your body composition shifts.
Okay, and then the measurements. There's a chart that kind of shows the measurements you should do. I think everybody probably, I don't know if you've seen it, but I would take all those measurements, and just to give you a gauge, the chest is pretty obvious. The right arm, the left arm. They did for the males, they did a flexed bicep. So they flexed it, and they measured it right around the highest.
It's bigger.
They measured it right around the highest point. The waist, most girls are going to want to go to that little dip that they have, go across the belly button to be consistent. And that's kind of how Beachbody takes all their measurements. So go right across your belly button on the waist, on the hips. That's obvious. Go around the widest part, and then the right thigh and left thigh. Beachbody's measurements show that you go midway. So midway between your hips and your kneecap. Go halfway and measure in the middle. It's a bit of a weird measurement. I find one shifted a little bit. I think I gained a half inch on each one. But make sure you take all your measurements, and then poses. There's a bunch of poses here as well.
This is the problem.
This is the one we did for Beachbody's test.
Good. No problem here.
It's a little different than what you guys have. It has more poses, but to be honest with you, I think the ones in the book it's sufficient. and then the guys have a bit of a flex.
Yeah.
So I think that's measurements. And then one thing I wanted to say, I know we moved on from nutrition. It was the hardest part, and it was the most talked about part of the program in our test group. Everybody questioned it. They questioned it in the beginning, then they kind of got the hang of it. There's a period in the program where you're going to plateau a bit. Everybody felt it in the test group. Everybody questioned the nutrition. I'm eating wrong. Nothing's happening. I feel bloated. I feel fat. This isn't working for me. That we were encouraged to continue with exactly what we had started out to do, and we all did, and it came back tenfold in the end in the last kind of 2-3 weeks. So just make sure that you dial in that food plan and stick with it no matter what. Obviously, if you're on too low of a plan, which happened to one of our guys, they started getting headaches and they felt lightheaded. They just weren't getting enough food, so they moved up in the plan. So I would give it 2 weeks before you adjust anything in your meal plan. It'll take a while. When you first start eating, especially Webb, if you're on plan F, and even for the ladies, like when I was on plan C, the first 2 days, everybody in the test group was like, oh my God, I can't eat all this food. This is too much food. On day 3, we were starving. We're like, we need food. Where's our food? So it takes a few days for your body to kick in and everything to start working. So just try to get that food in you, and eventually your body's like, okay, cool, you're going to feed me. I'm going to use it. And then what else?
You nailed it on the head. That's basically it.
So yeah, feel free to ask questions on nutrition as much as you want, and hopefully we can all help each other. We'll share some recipes. Some of the ones we do are pretty simple.
Yeah. The last thing, guys, I would say too, with the photos and measurements, tuck them away. Beachbody, they have this annual program. It's called what's the Beachbody contest?
The Beachbody Challenge.
The Beachbody Challenge. So every year, thousands of people are doing these programs, and you can submit your photos and measurements to Beachbody. They're awarding over $1 million a year in cash prizes to just people that have inspiring transformations. And it doesn't have to be like blow it out of the water transformation. They give away $500 to multiple people every day. They give away $1,000 a week to weekly winners. Then they have monthly winners of $5,000. They have quarterly winners of $25,000, and then they have annual winners, male and female, who win over $100,000 each. So it's really cool to see different people getting these awards. If you want to submit your stuff, you've gotten great results, there's a chance you could win some money. It's kind of cool. So just something to keep in mind. Webb, yep, go ahead, bud. Oh, sorry, man.
Okay. No, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So can you talk about for those of us who are on Shakeology or will be taking doing Shakeology during the course of the day, how does that relate to the containers?
Yep.
And for those of us who are wanting to, all of us are wanting to gain muscle metabolism helps us burn fat, all that good stuff. Are you guys, are there any other products that y'all took while doing this, from glutamine to anything of that nature, just from, BCAA, amino acid? We all doing any of that? So I'll let you talk about Shakeology first.
Well, I would recommend the Shakeology, that if it's your first time drinking it, maybe ease into it with a half a scoop. If you go full scoop at your first time, you might be running to the bathroom a fair bit. It's a very deep dense of nutrition that your body might not be used to, even if you eat super clean. It has a lot of nutrients in it, so your body's going to be like, wow, and your digestion's going to kick up. So make sure maybe just for the first 3 days, try half a scoop until your body adjusts to it. And it counts as a protein, actually. And we questioned that because there's so many superfoods in that thing. We're like, why is it not a vegetable?
Right. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
But,
yeah, they said for the purposes of this program and the training that you're doing with Hammer and Chisel, count it as a protein.
Which is strange because it only has 30-some grams. But another thing on the protein to keep in mind, because especially if you have to eat a lot of protein, and it's nice to have that liquid protein right after you work out to get a good hit. to count as one portion of protein for the plan, you have to have 42 grams. Most protein powders are 23 or something like that. So you need 2 scoops of protein powder to be able to count as one portion. I ate an egg white protein because I don't eat gluten or dairy or all the fillers. I kept it super clean. So mine was just a very basic egg white protein with like 3 ingredients in it. Donnie had...
I had, so with my Shakeology web, I would add a scoop of the Performance Line Recover, which is a whey protein. I added that. I used the Performance Line Recover. I used creatine, and I used the nighttime recharge, which was another protein formula. That's what I used in my plan. Tammy used creatine.
I loved it. I
loved it.
I didn't start it until the 2nd week. I wish I had started, and I will start on Monday, the creatine. You're going to feel a little bit bloated. It's temporary. I mean, while you're on it, it retains water. Beachbody's recommendation is to stop it 10 days before your after photos to get rid of all that excess water and bloat that it can carry with you. But I felt, as soon as I started taking it, within days, I felt so strong.
Strong.
Oh, man. It's like the muscle just stays there all day. It feels really good. Loved creatine, but I have read that it's hard on your liver. So if you do drink it, make sure you're drinking lots of water. And
Yeah. Well, again, so I want to make sure I get this straight here, Don and Tammy, and that is that just using the Shakeology is going to be considered one of the protein. That's it. Okay.
That's it.
And then obviously, and then, whether it's a pre or post or during, if I'm doing a protein drink, that is also considered one protein container as well?
42 grams.
42 grams of
42 grams. That's what each one of them is going to be. Each protein container is constituted as 42 grams?
Yes. That's if it's just a liquid protein shake of some sort.
Yeah.
There's 42 grams of protein in it. They're counting that as one protein.
I don't know.
Gotcha.
Shakeology,
42.
Shakeology, they are counting as one portion as well, even though Shakeology only has 16 grams of protein in it.
Gotcha.
16.
I would take we're just going.
Question from Paul. Let's see. Does a Performance Line count for any container? So no, Paul, they don't count it as any additional portions. So it's just supplementation you're taking in addition to the portions of the program that you're eating via food. Yeah.
I would take a selfie as well. You see them floating all around the internet, but they're actually quite effective. I had a chuckle at this one. This is the one from the test group of what to do and what not to do. So obviously we don't show bottoms in our underwear. We don't put the phone in front of our face. And make sure the lighting is great. So that's just some examples.
There's a little video too that explains how to do proper selfies and photos from Beachbody. I can put that link up. I think I put it up when we first started the group a few weeks ago, but I'll double check.
We have one of Donnie in his underwear. I could post it. And back to this. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. I'm not as my thought process isn't as clear and concise as Donnie's. When you do start the exercise programs, as we said, view them, and we said we're going to share the sheets to write them down. Actually, make sure you do write them down, because what happened in the first, I think, 2 or 3 workouts, I didn't write them down. I thought, oh yeah, I was just doing them. And then you don't do the same workouts again until it could be 10 days later. You have no idea what weights you used. You're like, oh man, did I increase? Did I get stronger? Like, what did I use the first time I did this thing? I don't remember. And you have no idea if you're getting stronger. So that the idea is when you do a workout, so you're going to do Chisel balance on day 1. You're going to want to know what weight you use for, the specific exercise, and 10 days later, what's the weight you're going to use. You're going to want to try to increase it, and that'll show your strength gains as well. So it's a very good measure.
Yeah, because that first few times doing them,
You don't remember.
it's a lot of trial and error too. You know, you're just trying, okay, let me try this amount of weight and see how I feel. So that there's a bit of an adjustment and learning curve. But writing it down, like Tammy said, it helps tremendously as you progress.
And a lot of people were sore throughout the whole program, but it was a good sore. It wasn't that sore when you've been to the gym and you can't walk down the stairs.
The first week might hit you.
Teacup up. Yeah.
The first week might hit you a bit.
The first week, and if you're used to going to the gym a lot, and some folks have had this, like Donnie, you know, we did day 1, Chisel balance, I think plyometrics was day 2, and then it kind of phased out a little bit. We went into like 23-minute workouts, and we had a day off, and then we did like a 25-minute workout. Donnie's like, I need more. This program's not going to be enough for me. Well, that was not the case.
Yeah,
so stick with it.
Trust the process.
Enough. Yeah, it's enough.
Trust the process.
They'll kick your butt in week 2 as well. So enjoy the breaks while you have them.
Yeah, it's like there's a method to the madness when all of a sudden you feel like, oh, okay, this wasn't that bad. I could have done a bit more. There's a reason that you're being given a little reprieve, because it usually means the next day you're gonna get slammed. So just trust the process.
And some of the ladies that aren't used to doing or lifting a lot of weights, it's just don't use weights. You know, do what you can do, even if you have to miss the reps or use no weights, just so you get used to the movements. The powerlifting, and we'll talk about that when we actually get to it. It's I actually had a question on that one, and Sagi came back and said they contemplated putting it in because, you know, when you're powerlifting, it's like a CrossFit type move. They weren't sure about it, but make sure you go light on that one. It looks like a workout that, and Darlene, you've done it, I think, have you? Probably in the 12 days.
Yes.
Yeah. So, you know, your weight should be fairly light so you can get a very good technique.
And they have technique tutorials on every one of the workouts. There's technique tutorial that you can watch for all the.
But each workout has a lot of, you know, and as we go, we'll post our experience with it and tips and give you some advice as we go.
That's it. You guys good? All right.
Yes, sir.
Make sure there's no other questions. Yeah, we're all good.
Go shopping this weekend. So
I'm ready.
By Sunday night, you should have your meal plan together, and your shopping and maybe some cooking done. So you're ready to hit it on Monday. It could be the difference between your success and falling off the rails with a piece of pizza or.
Yeah, exactly. The planning and prep. just think ahead at least a couple days at all times and have the stuff portioned out, ready to go. It makes your life a lot easier.
Yeah, I have to do it, so I'll definitely share mine. And if anybody else has it, you know, Thursday, Friday, feel free to take a picture and share it. It'll help the others in the group.
Cool. All right, guys. Thanks a million. We look forward to this ride together. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yes, 4:45 mornings for me.
Have a good night.
Thanks.
Have a good night. We'll see you.
Good luck, everybody. Good luck, everybody.
Happy New Year's.
All right.
Happy New Year.
Enjoy your final champagne.
Happy New Year to you, Don, Tammy.
See you.